Hey, this is JP from Squiver. Thank you again for being a supporter, prospector, or client. This is the ArcSight 101 video for your review. After you've hit Get It Now, you should install Squiver into your production org. We are set up as components and we're a native application, so you can drag and drop us anywhere on the page layout, including Sales, Service Cloud, or other. And in this case, we've got Squiver surfacing here on our accounts. I'll go ahead and click on one of these accounts. I'll click on a parent account in this case, and we've got org chart that we drag and dropped into the page layout right here on this tab. As you can see here, we've got Squiver rendering all the account hierarchy in this case. You've got your parent account, your Dunder Mifflin EMEA, APAC, and so on are rolling up to the parent account. If you double click the cards, you're going to get more details. In this case, we're at that account level, so where you can quickly check which account is that parent account, and you can actually customize this experience as well. In this case, you've got account details, maybe some enhanced notes, and we do have some custom colors rendering as well. Maybe you've got a competitor, customer, partner, or prospect account. And so you can certainly change up the color of the card and it'll go ahead and render that as well. Those labels we can surface in other ways. We can surface them as a component, or we've got a little icon over here. It's actually this little star icon. You can render those color codes at both the account, and in this case, we've got our contacts rolling in as well. So we've got some colors delineating blocker, champion, and favorites in this case. Okay, we're going to focus in on Dunder Mifflin Scranton. And so in this case, we're actually going to click on this top right icon on the card. If you click that icon, you're going to hop right over to that particular record. And so in this case, we've got the account record for Dunder Mifflin Scranton. Our org chart is here. And this one's actually going to start to yield all the contact data underneath it. So in this case, we've got Dunder Mifflin Scranton. All the contact data is rolling in. We wanted to make sure that this is a very, very usable and functional and interactive tool for you. So in this case, we've got maybe Dwight, Phyllis, and Stanley. If there's a change in the org structure, maybe Jim has been promoted and Dwight is now rolling up in that direction, you can certainly update that on the fly and you're off and running. All that drag and drop is doing is actually updating the reports to field on the fly. I'll double click one of these cards. Here's Dwight. You can see here, we've got the reports to field is now changed to Jim Halpert. I did mention those color codes that you can customize, you can label. In this case, we've got blocker, champion, favorite. And these will actually play a role a little later on in the 101 demo. Opportunity list views, we're going to go ahead and surface whatever opportunities our Dwight has a role on. And then, of course, notes, you can go ahead and activate enhanced notes and take notes on the contact in this case. As I mentioned, we are a Salesforce native tool, which means your data stays put in your Salesforce instance, but it also affords us a ton of capabilities. And you probably notice these icons underneath the card. I'm going to go ahead and walk through some of these capabilities right now for you. The plus button are quick actions. You can add a contact, send an email, add an opportunity, meeting, or a task. And so if we wanted to add a quick opportunity here, we'll call this the 101 opportunity. We're going to go ahead and pre-fill out some close dates, stage qualifications. This would default back to what your process might be. As you can see here, we've got some other Squiver tools starting to factor in. In this case, we have playbooks and action plans. We're going to go ahead and lay down medic or medpick on the opportunity. We can do really any type of methodology that you prefer. And if you've customized it, that's even better. We'll go ahead and lay down that template for you as you go. Okay, we created the opportunity on Dunder Mifflin Scranton here. And as you know, you can create meetings or tasks or contacts or send emails as well. LinkedIn is, if you've captured the LinkedIn URLs, we can point at that field and those will automatically render. Otherwise, if you've got the photos, the photo URL is actually something we can point at as well, and all the photos would automatically render as well. Other than that, it would be a flip over to LinkedIn. Michael Scott still is out there on LinkedIn, and he's the branch manager, as you can see here, in Dunder Mifflin Scranton. Okay, the third icon over is actually my favorite. It actually highlights what roles that these contacts play. In this case, we've got both at the account level and the opportunity level. And so as you can see here, we've got this 101 opportunity we created. We've got some other open opportunities on Dunder Mifflin Scranton. Michael Scott might be, in this case, our economic decision maker on the office suite, but maybe he's the economic buyer on 101. And so you can set these roles both at the account level and down to each individual opportunity level. You can see quickly that some other folks are starting to roll in, maybe at this 101 level. We've got our influencer, and in Daryl, and in Jim, maybe we've got an evaluator. We'll say Pam over here is also, we'll say, is a business champion of ours as well. That's how easy it is for you to set those roles. Those roles are mapped back to whatever you have in Salesforce. So if you have customized those opportunity contact roles, we'll go ahead and represent an icon for those. And so I'm actually going to show you what that looks like down at the opportunity level, because we really want to, first and foremost, answer the question, can you see everything? Yes, you can see everything from a Salesforce data perspective. The next question we always answer is, I'd really love to see just my best point of view, both at the account and at the opportunity level. Before we do that, I'm going to quickly show you how we might do some engagement scoring. And so we do have what we call the 5-star scoring methodology here. We've got influence, relationship, power, and cadence here. You can see number of entries we've got, and if you've entered more, we'll certainly capture those and refactor what is otherwise your average. You can absolutely update these. You can bring these back down to any number of 5-star scoring. You can relabel these, really customize them, and rest assured this is just Salesforce data for you to report off of down the road as well. So if you want to do trend analysis, how are we doing Michael Scott over time? By all means, you're going to be able to not only see it, we'll represent it on the card inline, so you can quickly find out how you're doing in your top accounts and contacts. And finally, the smiley face here, this is sentiment, capturing sentiment on the fly. Maybe you're on the phone, had a good call. Maybe in this case, we had a case opened and we need to do some customer sat. All that data is stored in Salesforce, easily reportable, and you might surface that at any given time to find out, do you have additional gaps or risks in context of your account or opportunity plans? All right, so I am going to hop up to the top left here. We had touched on the star here, which enables you to bring in what is that color-coded legend for you. At the very bottom here, oftentimes these go back to what could be those QBRs, deal reviews, etc. And so you might take a JPEG, a PNG, or even save this back to Salesforce. I'm going to come back to parking lot, which is the P. I had mentioned that we want to get down to the best point of view on our accounts. And so one aspect of that might be grouping. And a great use case for grouping might be pick lists on that object. So in this case, we're on the contact object. Maybe we want to see, you know what, I'd love to see this per department. And so we've got business development, customer success, operations, and sales. Maybe I'm just focused on sales and I just want to see who's in here. Again, this is not preset from Salesforce out of the gate. The department is actually a text field. But if you've set up a pick list, you can quickly group to, these are the folks that I want to target. And this is who resides in those departments in this case. I'll show you the card color. Card color comes with Squiver. So in this case, you've got your champions and your favorites highlighted here, and those are delineated by double clicking and setting those card colors. Maybe if Pam were a champion, we could quickly select Pam into green. Or in this case, we might even just drag and drop Pam under that favorite and her card is updated to blue. I'll clear grouping now. And a lot of folks do love the visual representation that we bring to bear here, but they do love the list view. List view is highly functional as well. So maybe in this case, we've got, Lonnie here who rolls up to Oscar now. You can drag and drop that and that will update accordingly. Really helpful as you're looking to build these out and make sure people are in the right spot. As your accounts evolve, you want to evolve with them. You can bring these card formats down. I had mentioned QBR, one-on-ones, deal reviews. Those are really popular use cases for us. And so the binocular here will help you condense the card. In this case, we said, just show me the pictures. Maybe it's the title and the name of the contact. We even bring this down to kind of that most simple format where you could quickly see, name and title. Toggle back out to full card and you're off and running. And then we have various layouts that you can select. So top down tends to be one of the most popular. Left justified is a really popular one as well. We do find that bottoms up is popular with various use cases. And then one we just released, I should say right justified is there as well. And so these are all just layouts for you to select. These will stay sticky if you select one. So rest assured you can kind of customize this experience as a user. And one we just released is what we call list layout. And what this looks like is essentially left justified, but it does help out for those very large accounts. It will also start to scale out as you get larger and larger, maybe text formats for various, titles and or names in this case. I should highlight that we're a very flexible tool. So one example is people love the names, but sometimes they like to point at different fields here. In this case, we've got the title field, but you can select various other fields as well. And then finally, the top level here is actually the ability to select what could be various configurations. And so at the heart, I mentioned we're flexible. Our org chart and relationship maps are object agnostic from Squiver. So ArcSight does come with the ability to not only serve that first use case, which might be show me my champions and blockers and various folks in the organization, but it also might kind of sprawl out to, what I'd love to do is actually see this in context of maybe just narrow it down to just those account champions. So all we've done here with this configuration is just show me those blue and green cards. We can go any direction on these. And so one popular example might be show me my partners on the account. These are just related contacts in this case. And so Cloudy, Astro, and Cody are within Salesforce in this case. And as you can see, there's a dotted line. You might say with any contacts, maybe there's the ability to set up that custom relationship. I'm hovering over Holly here. You can see this little arrow pops up. Maybe Holly can introduce us to Jim at Dreamforce. And we could say, what is that? Is that positive, negative, or neutral? Or relabel these. And you're off and running with your custom relationship there. So we've got, in this case, our partners rolling in. We've got any number of configurations we can set up. Here is one where we might say, show me my internal account team members in this case. And then put that in context of what's happening with my contacts. And you can certainly set things up accordingly here. Another couple examples here is we can represent account junction objects. I'm actually going to toggle up to the overview where we are now pointed not at the contacts, but we're pointed at number of cases on this account. or number of contracts on this account and maybe contract structure. We've got your MSA on through the amendments and so on and so forth. All this is to say, we're going to be able to certainly serve that first use case for you and then start to dive in further for you to accommodate your next 3 or 4 use cases as well. Finally, I want to show you this. We're not only object agnostic, but we do tend to land in that most optimal way for our customers. And so I'm going to hop down to our opportunity. We created 101 here. In this case, we've got org chart surfacing on our opportunity. And in the spirit of those configurations, we said, don't show me everyone, just show me people who have a role on this opportunity. And that's what we created right out of the gate. As you can see, we've got our business champions, so on and so forth. In this case, these are the roles on this particular opportunity. You can add them on the fly, or you can actually toggle right back out to that fuller view at this opportunity and say, oh, you know what? Michael Scott actually has a role on this opportunity. He's the economic decision maker after all. Quickly toggle back, and you can see Michael Scott has now been added to folks who just have a role on this opportunity. We find this is your deal review. You're able to export this, certainly speak to how we're doing in context of this particular deal versus what that might look like in other particular opportunities on the same account. And so that was a really quick overview. Rest assured, we do try to stay in line with your data, not just at that account to the opportunity level. As you can see, you might just score folks in context of your opportunity, and we'll reset those accordingly. Okay, that was a really quick view of ArcSight and some of the best practices out there. There's one last one I want to leave you with, and this is a high level of emphasis at this point. 99% of our customers do start with data that's not perfect in Salesforce. And what we mean by that is oftentimes your data will look, oh, let me go ahead and update this, will look fairly busy. And it's completely normal for all our customers to have an account that looks a little bit like this. And so you might have an account that goes really horizontal. It's got this kind of vast number of contacts on it, and it's not a great experience. So one thing we'll do, we'll give you the ability to quickly hone in on that account. And so this is that little target button up here. You can absolutely search to a lot of these contacts and quickly get to those folks. But I mentioned parking lot earlier. Parking lot is really designed to eliminate the noise. And so we do that a couple different ways. Parking lot is a safe space for you. So let's go ahead and just go and drag a couple of these contacts off your org chart, and we're pretty much just updating them over into your safe space, your parking lot. A lot of our customers do this in bulk. And so behind the scenes, there's a field called parking lot reason that manages this. If you wanted to go ahead and hit this remove independent contacts link, confirm that, all those contacts would roll directly over to the parking lot. And the folks left are just the folks who we've built that hierarchy out for. And so as you look at this, you might be working on this account and you've got L Novak. And so you want to drag and drop L into this, as you just found out is now reporting up to Gabriel, and so on and so forth. So you can absolutely manage a vast number of contacts in your Salesforce. Just really utilize this parking lot function. It makes your life a lot easier right out of the gate and makes your hierarchies and org charts in Salesforce super actionable, super interactive, and really valuable for the entire team. All right, everyone, thank you so much for hanging in there with us on ArcSight 101. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to the team, but we look forward to ensuring that you're highly successful with Squiver ArcSight, and thank you again.